Is cocaine the same as Adderall? Adderall and cocaine, are they the same? I had somebody comment on one of my videos saying that taking Adderall is the same as using cocaine. And I can tell you this, as a recovering cocaine addict, that was my drug of choice along with the alcoholic addict. That to me, at least, what these two drugs did to me are completely different. Again, they are both stimulants, but the effect and what it actually did to me is very different. I'll share with you like the mood and energy effects differences, because the worst part is to, I think, stereotype any drugs. Again, Adderall is an amphetamine salt. It is not methamphetamines. It does not pass through the brain-blood barrier like meth does, so it does hit your system differently. There is a molecule missing. There is legalized meth, which is called dioxin, which is for ADHD med. It's very rarely prescribed, but there are about 16,000 prescriptions written for a year here in the US, and it is pharmaceutical methamphetamine. But Adderall itself is an amphetamine salt, where cocaine, it's mixed with a lot of different things, comes from the coca leaf and all this, but these highs are tremendously different. So let me share with you what the differences are that I experienced, especially being somebody who has used Adderall all my life as a tool, and somebody whose drug of choice that I could not even keep it in the house, cocaine, what these differences were. If you're new to the channel, hit the like and subscribe button. What's up, guys? My name is Eric, and I'm a recovering cocaine and alcoholic addict. These were my drugs of choice. And why I say drugs of choice even per se is the fact that alcohol and cocaine could not stay in my house. There was no budgeting these. I mean, if I had Coke in my house, it was all gone. If there's alcohol in my house, it was all gone. There was never, let me just go to the cabinet and grab out a bottle, or let me go to my fridge and grab out a beer. It was either there or not there. Same when it came to cocaine. These were obsessively used drugs by me, versus Adderall that I've been prescribed since about 17, which is a amphetamine salt. It helps with my ADHD. And the highs of these are completely different. And I'm sure people on this video are going to comment, oh, dude, speedballing, whatever. I don't really care. I share my testimony and my experiences for the ones out there really trying to dive in to figure out what they're going through. So what is the differences in this high that Adderall versus cocaine gives you? Because first, let me start with Adderall. Does Adderall give you a high? For me, yeah, it does. And it's kind of like a focused high. It's like literally putting on glasses and the world comes into focus. I can be sitting, working, take my Adderall, and in about 15, 20 minutes, I start to feel a little bit excited because I feel motivated. I feel energized. That is also part of a dopamine rush, serotonin and stuff. Your neuroreceptors are starting to fire off a little bit more than normal. And I really get to be able to focus in. I am focused on projects. I'm focused on tasks. I'm focused on working out, whatever it might be, going, okay, what do I need to do for today? It's not a woohoo party drug. I just get focused in, let's go. I mean, that's really my mood and mindset when I take Adderall, and I take 10 milligrams in the morning, I take 10 milligrams in the afternoon. When it comes to cocaine, cocaine's high though was a big mood, energy, I am unstoppable high. This high lasted tremendously different than what Adderall. When I get Adderall in my system, Adderall lasts me, I take it about 8 o'clock in the morning, and I can feel it start to wear off right around 11:30-ish roughly, and I take it again at about noon, and it starts to wear off right around 5-ish. And I'm used to these ups and downs when it comes to Adderall, and it's a very prolonged focus period of time, where with cocaine, my brain didn't go to any kind of task. I'm not thinking of task. I am big mood energy. I feel unstoppable. I feel like Superman, empowered. I am loud. I am not focused on any kind of work. I want to get higher. And my focus shifts from whatever it was to how do I get higher? I got to keep doing this, because also cocaine empties out of your system in about 15 minutes. So these highs are just this massive blast of energy, of confidence, of just, there's an aura around somebody when they walk out of the bathroom because they had irritable bowel syndrome and did 3 lines, to coming outside and like, hey, let's get this party going. Let's do this, guys. Versus Adderall, I mean, I take that and it's like, all right, oh man, this is kicking in. I need to get started. I got to get myself in the shower. And after I'm done with the shower, I got to start my laundry and I got to start adulting. I mean, that's literally, my brain goes down this pathway with Adderall, where it went down this pathway completely different with cocaine. Cocaine went into pure party mode, went into pure, I have to keep this high because, oh my goodness, life is wonderful. There's no stress, there's no worry. Everything disappeared, and all I cared about was this feeling that I had. Versus Adderall makes me focus. So if there is stress, I'm addressing what's stressing me. Is it bills? Is it money? Is it I have to clean the house, whatever it might be that's stressing me, that's all there and I'm functioning. With cocaine, there was no functioning for me. And there are functioning cocaine addicts. I mean, I was a working addict and a functioning addict to the point that, I would go to work while I was high on cocaine and continually using it. I was able to complete tasks. I was able to start something and finish something somewhat, but I was also very self-medicated with alcohol along the way. And then the big key thing is even with Adderall, my Adderall, I get 20 milligram pills. All right, I get 30 of them, 20 milligrams. All right, I take only 20 milligrams a day though. Well, those pills literally last me 60 days because I break them in half. So each pill is good for, a day. And then even on the weekends, I don't take it. I go through time frames where I forget it because it's not something like my body's craving, where versus cocaine, if I knew there was cocaine anywhere in the house, I will dig and tear to carpet surfing for it. I've never carpet surfed for Adderall. Times I've ran out of Adderall, I have never considered going and getting a vacuum to vacuum up the floor so I could sort through it. Versus with cocaine, I will, if as soon as I'm high and I start to run out of this and I knew I dropped some on the floor, guess what? I am carpet surfing. I'm on my hands and knees with a plate trying to pick out white things. If I don't think I'm getting what I thought maybe I had dropped, guess what's busting out? The vacuum's busting out. And then what am I doing? I'm going through the vacuum itself, literally trying to pull out speckles of cocaine, putting all this back up my nose. I mean, that's the insanity difference of how this addiction works. So for me, these drugs were completely different. Yes, both were stimulants. And yes, I feel like Adderall built me a higher tolerance when it came to stimulants. That's why I could do so much cocaine. I would do 1 to 2 8-balls of coke a day. And people are like, I don't understand how you could do this. I do a gram or I do 2 grams and I'm done. I mean, an 8-ball is 3.5 grams to 4 grams, depending on your dealer and depending on what it's cut with. But that's a lot. And so I think Adderall kind of led me up to my tolerance being a lot higher for stimulants. But I have never remotely ever thought of like digging through the carpet or digging through anything to try and find an Adderall pill versus vacuuming up the carpet for cocaine. Now, again, I know people that have popped Adderall like Skittles. I know there is an addictive side to Adderall. Adderall is not necessarily the most glamorous of drugs there are, but it does help a lot of people when it comes to their ADHD. I feel that it is a very good tool. Just like with any tool, even when it comes to Xanax and benzodiazepines, it can help people tremendously with their anxiety, get it under control and manage it, versus though there are people that have a massive addiction to it. So it's a double-edged sword. But for me, these highs were completely different, where one was very focused high, completion high, driven by almost direction high, versus cocaine, which was all pure mood energy high of, I'm unstoppable, versus Adderall, I know I am stoppable and I know I can't walk out in front of that car and I need to go focus on this high. So to me, there's a tremendous difference in the two highs. I don't think they're the same drugs whatsoever. To categorize them together, no. Methamphetamines actually affected me the same way that Adderall does in a lot of ways. It was almost like a dirtier high though than what Adderall was. And I can do videos on that and explain what I mean. But this is my experience with both of the drugs. I again, don't feel that they're the same. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a counselor. I'm not a therapist. I'm none of that. My name is Eric. I'm diagnosed with ADHD, PTSD, GAD, MDD. Those are my diagnoses. I'm a recovering cocaine and alcoholic addict. Lost a wife and a father to suicide. I've attempted suicide. And I share my story just for anybody out there suffering, struggling, going through this, to know that they're not alone. Hit that like and subscribe button. Comment down below. Love to know your thoughts on this, because it is one of those subjects where, let's face it, when it comes to addiction, everybody's opinions are different and everybody's opinions are valid, because your opinion is your opinion. But for the one out there struggling, really trying to fight through some of this stuff, you're not alone. I have links down below to NA and AA for the ones struggling. And just know this, that you're worth it, no matter what it is that you're fighting inside, fighting against, trying to get clean, trying to get sober, that you can do it. It is not easy, but it's worth it.